Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing Love in Paradise. But before we do have some hot goss. So, if you remember Taylor from Love is Blind, season 5, the season we don't want to remember, she was the one who was engaged to JP for like a second. That's the one. So she has opened up about a very difficult moment that has happened somewhat recently. So, trigger warning for pregnancy loss. I would skip ahead maybe 2-3 minutes. So, on Wednesday, June 12th, the Love is Blind alum, who, as we just mentioned, started in season 5, shared that she experienced a pregnancy loss in a post on her Instagram. Sharing a video from her first doctor's appointment, Taylor took a moment to open up about the devastating news in her caption. She wrote, quote, "This was our first appointment where we got to see our baby that made us parents. We couldn't wait to share the news of our pregnancy with everyone, but now we are sharing a very different news. I pray and feel for any family that goes through this." The complete caption on her Instagram said, it went from "Mom, there's a heartbeat" to "There is no heartbeat" within weeks. Cam and I are devastated and heartbroken. Only time will heal the pain we feel. We know that God's plan is so much greater than ours, and that baby S is in heaven looking down on us. Baby S will forever be in our hearts. In the comments under her video, several other Love is Blind alums shared their condolences. Shayna Hurley, who was on season, I think, 3, wrote, "I am so sorry. This must be so hard, but no, God is so near, especially to the brokenhearted. Pray for you, sweet girl." Oh, sorry, she was on season 2. God, season 2. Anyway. Bliss said, "Sending you lots of love and prayers." And Amy, from our most recent season, said, "I am so sorry, beautiful. We're sending you both so much love and prayers." It's very sad. I can't even imagine. So, although Taylor left the show single after having a quote-unquote earful conversation with her former fiancé, JP Pierce, she announced in October on her Instagram that she met someone new. Because I didn't know anything about her being in another relationship. That's really great. She was started posting a photo with her new boyfriend, Cameron Shelton, and Taylor wrote, "Found my +1" in the caption. So, I hope that they, time will heal. I know, but I still can't imagine losing, your pregnancy like that. And I hope never have to imagine, but I wish them wholeheartedly the best through this. Anyway, let's move on to the next piece. So, Chris Cohen, since we are on the topic of Love is Blind, told Verity on June 14th that the unique reality show has an equally distinctive casting process. Because I think we're all kind of questioning what the fuck is going on when you're casting people. Saying it's not a perfect one. Obviously, we had Trevor, who managed to be cast in Love is Blind season 6 without producers realizing he had a whole fucking girlfriend. And he said, quote, "In a lot of unscripted shows, I think that a lot of times you're looking for someone who's a certain kind of character with a certain charisma, that you don't look at everything else." But anyways, that's me, not him. He said, "We do not do that. We are not leading with that. We're looking for people who are genuine." The reality TV show character to lifelong influencer trail is well trod by now. Love is Blind attempts to avoid people looking to make it big by putting in a lot of groundwork. He said, quote, "Outreach is essential because we have to get the word out on a local level. We want reporters, politicians, realtors, salon owners, pastors, nurses, teachers, and everyone in between. And this was said by the VP of casting, Donna Driscoll. She went on to say, "We want there to be a huge buzz around the city that we're there and that we're looking for singles who are ready for a deep and meaningful relationship and marriage. We want to make that tent as big as possible to get as broad a cross section of people as possible. Then we put everybody through the same process and same filter as we narrow down the pool of people." Driscoll, Donna, said this wide net approach has helped Love is Blind expand the idea of what a candidate for reality television might look like or do for a living. While many reality series would be stocked with aspiring actors, serial entrepreneurs, and would-be influencers, Love is Blind's process pulls in people who might not go to a traditional casting call. In fact, Driscoll draws a hard line at anyone looking to build the real REEL or grow their social media following. Influencers and actors are off the table. Interesting. I want the people to come in and feel very authentic and raw. And that's not to say that an influencer, model, or actor could not do that. But I want to steer clear of getting somebody into the pod as much as I possibly can for the wrong reasons. You can do that all you want, but you clearly have people on here who maybe aren't influencers in the moment, but definitely want to be. She added, "I'm really hesitant to go down that road just because I want to make sure that their heart is in the right place." The vetting process doesn't end there, though. Driscoll shared how Love is Blind's casting team dig deep into the potential cast digital footprints to see if any of the would-be contestants know each other. Okay, let's continue before I say more. How I think. Anyway, they said, quote, "We are so diligent from the get-go. We cross-reference Instagram accounts 3 times to make sure there's no connection between handles. Even that level of research doesn't always turn up information that would have disqualified candidates. For example, Lydia and Uche from season 5. As we know, had a previous relationship that was not documented anywhere that casting directors might have uncovered. Yeah, that's because I'm pretty sure Lydia scrubbed it. Don't you realize people know how to scrub shit? Like, come on. Anyway, season 6 contestant Trevor had a girlfriend, as we know, who was in touch with up until the day he left to film the show, as we know. Beyond a certain point, Driscoll thinks they just gotta trust that contestants are being truthful. Well, she said, when we get them on the phone for the final call, we always ask, is there anything that you haven't told us that we need to know about your relationships? Do you think they're going to tell you the truth? Anyway, she said, we give them several opportunities to tell us the truth, and we know they're human. We are also human. We have to trust that all of what they're telling us is true. Will all of our eyes be a lot more open at Trevor? Absolutely. Trevor has apparently since apologized for being quote-unquote untruthful with producers throughout season 6, which debuted on Netflix earlier this year. He said, I knew allegations about me had been made the night before we filmed the reunion, but I, for some reason, didn't read the actual text, and when I saw them pull up on a screen, I felt like I was in a nightmare. Only that nightmare was about to be viewed by 50 million people, and I had 3 seconds to think of a response. Well, maybe slightly less, because next would you get the fuck off my stage? So Trevor shared this on Instagram back in April, apparently. He said, quote, that being said, I admitted I was wrong. I admitted I wanted to talk to an actual therapist versus my first time discussing it, being filmed in front of an audience. Since then, I have been seeing a therapist and slowly acknowledging what I need to do to better myself. Good for you, my guy. Anyways, that's basically it for that. I thought that was kind of an interesting read, just to kind of see, like, what are you really doing? Because it feels like you're not doing enough. But anyways, next thing that I have, which is the last piece that I have, Robert and Annie have just announced a couple of days ago that they're expecting their next baby. I'm so happy for them. I'm proud of them. Well, I'm not proud of them. We all know what they did to get that, but I'm happy for them. And with everything that they have experienced in their life leading up to this, with the, sorry again, guys, trigger, the loss of their son a couple of years ago, so happy for them. I was very happy when I saw this on Instagram. They said, quote, "We are happy to share with you the expectation of our baby. We are grateful to God." They both said this. So it's really great. I have the photo that they posted on Instagram. I will share that with everybody as well. But yeah, that's the last piece that we will discuss on this episode. Let's move on to the reason that we are here. Love in Paradise Season 4, Episode 9. You may need a life jacket. So we got Luke and Madelein first. And I first wrote, guys, when I tell you that I was dying while taking notes, I couldn't even focus. What the fuck are these jackets that they're wearing? They look like Chewbacca. What the fuck? I was dying. And if you don't watch the episode, which, what are you doing with your life? But if you don't watch the show and you want to have an idea of what this looked like, it is posted on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all there. So you'll see it. And it would be the most recent batch of memes, because it was the most recent episode. But what the hell is happening? But yeah, so he phrases this, "I don't want no man in my apartment." And she does admit that she did sleep in the bed with the guy, but she wasn't naked, she says. Anyways, he's like, "You need to be extra careful to make me feel better." What? I mean, I get it that you're upset, but like, you sound condescending. Anyway, he says, "And you're signing that fucking prenup, okay? You're signing it. I don't give a shit. No prenup, no marriage, okay?" And he's like, "Say sorry." And she's like, "For what?" And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna." Okay, you did have a man in your bed, the bed that he also shares with you when he's there. You should apologize personally. I mean, he's being an asshole, but you should apologize. But anyways, and he says, "Well, if I hear more rumors, it's a done deal, okay?" And she's like, "Well, then don't stay with me." And he's like, "Okay, fine, I'm done then." This is they're so immature. But the problem, again, she's 19, he's 30. He's supposed to be a little more mature on handling this. But anyways, so it's the next day, and they're like, "So yesterday, it's really tough, but the boat should be ready. You can come if you want to. If you don't want to, that's good too." And she does go, and they're doing some boat excursion thing. And she just starts crying immediately. And he's like, "Why are you crying?" And she's like, "Yesterday was really hard and it hurt." Or he says this, I think, I can't remember. And he's like, "I won't tolerate hearing things like that again." And it's here that she finally apologizes. She says, "I'm sorry for what you heard. I'm sorry for how it looks." And she says that he is all that she wants, and how he taught her what love is. Blech. When you're 19 and he's 30, that's kind of gross. Anyway, she says not having her parents around made her feel very closed off to things. But after meeting Luke, he kind of helped with that, showed her how to let people in, and, she seemed to change her or whatever. And she's like, "I want to show him he can," I think, "trust me," is what I said. And he appreciates the apology. He's like, I think he said, "I thought nothing happened, but I do not want you to put yourself in these situations again. Understand?" And on the one thing I'll say is, I mean, I think half and half here. I think half of this is him thinking, I don't want to be fucking embarrassed by you again, so don't fucking do it again. On the other hand, I also think like he might be thinking about her safety as well, because the thing is like, that could have gone a lot worse. I hope and pray it didn't, but it could have gotten a lot worse. You could have had a man who doesn't give a shit that you're in a relationship and chooses to disrespect it. And not only that, but go, like, not care about your own personal boundaries and just have his way with you, if you get where I'm going with this. So it's also a safety thing. Don't allow men to sleep in your fucking bed. You know what I mean? If like you just never know. But anyway, she says yes, she understands. And now he feels like he can move past this. He does want to have another talk with her about the prenup. And he says if she does not want to sign the prenup, he will not marry her. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what actually happens here, but we'll see. But anyways, that's it for Luke and Madeleine. It was pretty short, this episode. Let's move on to Alex and Adriano. So Tiffany is here, and she's going to be leaving today. And Alex is going to be talking to them. I think Tiffany and her aunt is what I wrote. But anyway, Tiffany does not like him. Okay, she does not like him at all. And it's about to get worse. So let's call Auntie to talk some sense into her. Okay, so we fill Auntie in on everything that's happened. And Auntie says he is not marriage material. Oh wait, it's about to get worse. He also said something about Tiffany in terms of maybe we could have a threesome with your fucking cousin. Okay. And Tiffany's like, oh no, child. That is not okay. She's like, I didn't know about this. We can't have family dinner. We can't have Christmas. What the fuck? I love Tiffany. And she's like, I'm mad. No. And she's like, and I will be mad if you don't fucking end it with him. Are you kidding me? She's like, you can't say, hey, look at your cousin's body. You can't fucking say that. Auntie says, he ain't the one. Know your worth. Thank you, Auntie. So Adriano is now here. And we're done with that conversation, and he's now here. And we are going to be headed to an adventure. But she keeps being sold on this fairy tale that he keeps, like, the under the Tuscan sun type fairy tale that she thinks that this is. And it's just like, that's not real, it's a movie. I hated that movie. But it's a movie. And it's just like, that's not fucking real. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, she's gonna actually be leaving tomorrow, so she says they do have to figure all this out. Okay, so let's watch you figure this fucking out, I hope. So we are on another boat. Boat's the theme for this episode. And he goes for, yeah, I can't read that, but anyways, I did read the water is beautiful, so there we go. But she wants to, or no, he goes into the water, and she doesn't go into the water because I guess I could play the black card here. She really doesn't want to mess her hair up. But come in the fucking water, girl. Go in the water. Anyways, she just keeps saying, I feel like we're in a movie. I bet if you look at us, we look like we're a great couple, but we're not. And I'm like, ain't no one fucking saying that. Ain't no one thinking that. Okay, we didn't have a chance to think whether or not you guys were a great couple because initially from the jump we found out he wants threesomes and you don't, and it's like, oh, well, this isn't gonna work. No one thinks this shit's a fairy tale. No one does. Only you do. Anyway. And it's like, I only can oh yeah, I think it takes so much. And now he wants to fuck my cousin or whatever. So then she tells him when he comes back into the boat that I told Tiffany about what happened. And he's like, you didn't want to? And he's like, I only did that as a joke. To try to get you to do it. What? There are so many things you could have done. Telling her, do you think we could fuck your cousin? Ain't it? You fucking idiot. Anyway. And he says, well, she's not my type. I don't think that matters. I don't think whether someone is his type or not matters. That ain't nothing to do with it. And again, he's entitled to say whether or not someone is his type or not his type. But I would think the same way that she does in this moment by saying, oh, so now you're going to disrespect my cousin. Now you're going to disrespect my cousin. Okay. Sounds about right. She says, I'm telling you how I feel. And instead, you're just creating more excuses. And she does not believe it was a joke. I don't either. She said it was disrespectful. And he's like, I just made a mistake. I'm human. Okay. Well, that's not a mistake. That was a fucking choice. Anyway. He's like, what can I do? And she's like, I don't know. And I can't remember herself. If you don't want to change, she said this time, if you don't want to change, then I don't know. No, girl, you do know. Let's finish the sentence, because you do know. And she says, but I am tired of being delusional. I tried to make this work, but I gotta be real with myself. I don't think it's working. And I feel like in this moment, because she kept saying it, I don't think this is working. And I think as she was saying it to herself in her head, it was finally sinking in. And we could literally see, on the one hand, this weight being lifted, but on the other hand, also the sinking realization that this was never going to work. And how that is starting, you can literally see in real time the weight of those words and the fact that it's hitting her. And he just isn't quite figuring it out. He just hold her hand. She's like, no. And he puts a blanket over her. She's like, no. And he's just not taking it seriously. And she says, I have to pick, sorry, I think I said that wrong. She said, all of this nonsense basically she says today. And she's like, I can't do this. And I still don't know if it's sinking in for him, but I guess we will figure it out whether or not it is or it isn't. But that's it for Alex and Adriano. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we will finish up with the other two couples. I am coming in with another song for you. This song is called Le Chemin de Plascourt. Sorry, my French. But this is by Sophie Cantier. I got this single from the PodSafe music directory on the World Podcast Network. So I'm going to play that song for you now. If you like the song, look down at the show notes and there is a link to the PodSafe music directory, again on the World Podcast Network. And there you can download the song or listen to the song. So I will be playing that song for you now.
Le chemin le plus court n'est pas toujours le même. Quand pour te faire la cour, je ne dis pas je t'aime. Quand viennent les beaux jours, des printemps semaines, dans une ville offerte au vent et au soleil. Dans un jardin ouvert, notre amour se promène. Viens là, viens là, viens là, viens là. Au rythme du tambour, des rivières souterraines, le chemin le plus court ne se fait pas sans peine. Quand tu choisis la nuit, quand je choisis le jour, quand nous partons marcher au hasard des faubourgs. Et pour se pardonner, on ouvre le verrou. Viens là, viens là, viens là, viens là. Ferai-je un jour le tour des tours de ton domaine? Le chemin le plus court n'est pas une rengaine. Toi qui te tiens debout dans cette ville ancienne, tout l'or, tous les bijoux, toute l'eau des fontaines. Aucun palais de marbre n'enfermera ma reine. Viens là, 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 viens là. Le chemin le plus court de Paris jusqu'à Vienne, mais pas depuis toujours, vers ton cœur me ramène.
And I am back. So we now have Annie and Kyle. And she kind of says, I don't think you get why I'm angry. If you can't jump or handle this or jump whatever. Oh, sorry, jump this little hill, then we are not jumping anywhere. And this is where it's back to getting the plan B. And she's like, I don't want to be hurt by you. And he says, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. I want to show you how serious I am about you. Okay? So here's my STD test. See, it's positive, you see? And she's like, so? It's like, I just want to show you how responsible I am. What the fuck? What the fuck? How does this equate with what she's saying? Now, first of all, I said this before too. I do understand her testing him because I do believe this was a test. But at the same time, get your own plan B. You cannot rely on a man to do it for you. You have to take your fertility, your body, your decisions with all of that into your own hands. Because you cannot rely on men to do it for you. Sad, but I think we can all agree that's just how it is. Men suck in all avenues. You can't trust them. But my guy takes this opportunity to say, look, I am so responsible. And let me show you how I'm so responsible. I did this fucking STD test because I fucked Norway, UK, where else was he? Australia. And then I fucked you. So, I fucked all these people. I'm so fucking responsible that here's my STD test. What the fuck? I mean, personally, before fucking him, she should have asked for an STD test. I mean, my God. But, you know what I mean? Oh man, the manipulation with him is unreal. But she says to him, you did not do this for me. You did it for you. Like, duh. I didn't ask for this. And she said, how many people, I guess, like, have you done it with? And he's like, well, there was a Norway girl from months ago. And then there was a UK one a month ago. I believe there was one in Australia too, but he didn't mention that one. But I don't think she knew about the Norway or the UK girl. And she says, I told you everything about my ex. What? Why is the ex in here? We're about to find out. And he's like, no, you didn't. He's like, when did you last see him? And we find out that here comes Annie, holier than thou attitude about fucking this girl and that girl. Literally says to him, maybe like before you got here. He's like, what, like the day before? And she says yes. She saw her ex-boyfriend the day before Kyle showed up. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Girl, listen, I don't care. Fuck with Kyle, I don't care. But you literally are this holier than that attitude about him having sex with women for donation purposes, which take it as you may, but you're literally doing the same thing. You're still fucking somebody else without the donation aspect of it. You know what I mean? Somehow that feels worse. But anyways, it's just, what the fuck? Wow. Pedal me, kettle me pot, you know what I mean? Like, wow. So he says, did you have sex? Her answer to this is not a straightforward one. Her answer to this is, that is so complicated. No, it's not. It's yes or no. And based on the fact that you said it's complicated, it's a yes. Wow, Annie, wow. He's like, well, your face says it all. He's like, but you donate. You don't care about me. No. You don't even have a leg to stand on anymore, Annie. And listen, like I said, I don't care. Fuck with Kyle. It's perfectly fine with me. I don't care that she had sex with her ex, who's probably saner. But like, I hope, anyways, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. But you had this whole trope that you have an issue with him doing, you know, A, B, and C when you're literally doing it too. Like, no, you don't have a leg to stand on anymore. Anyways, he says, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be here. And she says, this is in the past, right? Or I think, wait, did he say, or someone says it's in the past anymore, would you consider stopping the donating for me? And he says, I think for this to work, I need to be able to donate on some level, which honestly, you knew what you were getting yourself into by being with him. You knew there was the possibility that he is not going to want to stop. I don't think he should stop donating, but what I think he should do is stop having sex with them, but he shouldn't necessarily stop. I think he should go through a clinic. Why not? Do it that way. It is going to be clinical, but so, like, you know, what you're doing is supposed to be clinical as well. So it's just like, whether he does or he doesn't go through that way, I do think he should eliminate the sex part of it. I do. But I don't think he should stop for the mere purpose. Like, I think he should to save the world and from him. But I also don't realistically think he should stop entirely. You knew you were getting yourself into by being with him. So she says, so I just need to accept it. And she says, no, I don't. I don't think I can fully, he said, I don't think I can fully quit. And she said, well, then for me, it's over then. And he thought that she would be open to it. I actually don't disagree that he thought that. Like, I think that makes sense. But he said, I guess things can change. And she doesn't want him to give it up endlessly, and he wants to, give it. And she wants him to give it up on his own. She doesn't want to be the reason that he does. Like she expects that he should just want to just give it up. You don't know who you're dealing with here. This is a person who doesn't think like the rest of us. He's not going to do that. Anyway. Well, that's basically it for Kyle and Annie for this episode. Let's end this off with Shawn and Alliya. Not a whole lot here, but they're at dinner. It's going to be difficult when he leaves. He's going to be leaving soon. And he's actually going back tomorrow, I believe. And she wants to set some boundaries before he leaves. And she tells him, I do not want to keep this relationship open when I go over there. So she's not saying I want to end the open relationship right the fuck now. She's saying when I'm there, there's no fucking reason you need to be in an open relationship anymore. So let's end that. You know what I mean? So he says that that's his goal, to end it. And she says, and I do not want you to be with people, have sex with people who are your friends, because those are people who are going to be in your life. And then in turn, probably in mine. That's going to be fucking awkward. She's like, if you want to have an open relationship, it should be with someone you don't really know from before. And he says, well, he thinks it's safer to have people that he knows in his life, that he has this open relationship with, that it's safe. He knows them, and it's not going to be, basically he's thinking about the safety of it, which I do understand, but I understand where she's coming from as well. If these are people who are going to be in your life past this, and in turn in mine, like, I don't want you having sex with them. I don't think that is too much to ask. So he says in the moment that there is one person in particular that he's been having sex with for some time, and it's actually his ex. I think the fuck not. You're not gonna fuck your ex. I'm sorry. If I was in this situation and my boyfriend's like, I'm gonna go have an open relationship, and I'm gonna have the open relationship with an ex, you're fucking crazy. No, you're not. No, you're not. And same with me. He would not want me having sex with an ex either. No. Are you fucking crazy? No. Anyway, she also says, I cannot guarantee that the person I have sex with will not be in our lives, and she's just supposed to accept it? Are you kidding? No. No. She just wants the person basically out of their lives. She doesn't want to deal with them, and I don't disagree with her. And Shawn says, I agree to keep them away from the relationship, but I do not agree with just throwing them away. That's not who he is. Did you propose to her? Why did you propose to her? Because you're not even taking anything she wants into consideration. She's reluctantly agreed to do this open relationship that she's not participating in. It's all for you. And at least that's what she says. And this is all for you. And you can't even accommodate one fucking request of hers. Then that is a relationship that's not going to work. It's just not. You need to agree on the terms of the open relationship. But he takes advantage of her. Anyway, that is it for Shawn and Alliya, and that is it for the episode. But next time on, which is our final episode, so let's talk prenup with Madelein, because she needs to sign it. And then let's talk about surgery for Alliya. And Shawn is like, oh shit, if she's getting these like gender reassignment surgery, which I don't know, we don't know everything yet that she wants to do. He says that definitely could affect the relationship, because he doesn't want to be intimate with a woman. It's not that he hasn't. We know he has. But I think that's a side of him that he's kind of left behind. So I don't know. Anyway, Kyle and Annie meet up again. I don't know why. I thought they were over. Anyways. And then we see the breakup commence between Alex and Adriano, finally. But that is it for this episode of Love and Paradise. We have one more episode. I'm so sad. I love this show, but at least we're getting Toe to take its place. So there's at least that. I don't know if we're getting 2 hours of Toe or what's coming. Then it was on a Monday, so I'm not sure. I imagine we're probably only going to have an hour because we have Unexpected right after it. So fingers crossed because it's too much. But I'm so excited for Toe. I'm really sad for Love and Paradise to be ending, but 2 more weeks and then we got Toe. But anyways, that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.